Hey, I want to show you some cool effects here. So whenever you need to overlap audio, like right now you can hear I have this sound, 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 sound. Let's say I wanted to double that. Sound, 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 sound. I would have to kind of start a sound, like I would have to start a beginning of the word before the next one, or the one previous to it had ended. So I'm going to need to overlap. Now if I try and just move this, you know, it's not going to move. Right? It's not going to butt up against there. So it's actually not going to overlap. It's just going to butt up against it and stop. So what I need to do is use a new track. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it to a new track. Now the command here is duplicate. You could copy and paste it into a new track if you wanted by just making a new track here, but I'm going to duplicate it. And that's going to have an advantage. I'll show you. It's going to make a new track. And now what I can do, I'm just going to unselect that. And now what I can do is I can take this and I can shift it to go like halfway. So roughly it's going to sound like sound, 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 sound. Okay, so maybe I want to do that, maybe I don't. But that's actually lined up about halfway. Remember the trick I showed you with splitting the track at a certain place? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this track right where that that O starts. And actually, let me zoom in a little tiny bit just to get a better handle on that. So I want to start it right about there. And I'm going to split the track. That's an edit. Right there. So now what I can do, I'm going to zoom back out. And before, actually, in between, I put this label here on the half beat. So I want to line those up. And I can select this track here and drag over. I'm holding down the shift key to do that. And now I can take this time shift tool, and when I move this over, it'll snap right there. You see that yellow line? So now it should be lined up exactly right. Let's listen to it. Sound, 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 sound. Okay. Let's say I want that to be the backbeats to be a little softer. I could just, you know, put the volume a little lower here. Let's try that. Sound, 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 sound. Now it sounds like a little bit of an echo, right? I could go back and I could undo that. I could pan this one all the way mostly to the right and pan this one mostly to the left. And then it'll have like a ping pong effect going back and forth. Sound, 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 sound. Okay, so you can hear it bouncing back and forth from left to right if you're wearing headphones. There's a lot you can do. Now, the last step here, you can actually just click on this and it will unsplit the clip. So splitting can be really helpful. You know, you can put a marker there and then Command I, split that clip, and then click on it to make that split go away. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is now, once you're done putting, let's say I wanted these two tracks here. This is my new sound. Now let's say, and you could actually even do another one. Let's do another one. Actually, let's do two more. So I'm going to duplicate these. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate, duplicate. Let's make it, so that's like eighth notes. Let's make it 16th notes, okay? And let's just do it roughly. So, and then like that. Let's see what that sounds like. Sound, 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 sound. Well, that's a lot of S's, but you can hear the way that the tracks kind of overlap. So, and I'll make some of these softer just to give it a little bit of color, a little bit of shape. Let's try it now. Sound, 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 sound. Okay. So now let's say I have all these tracks. If I go back, if I zoom out, kind of, I can't even fit all my tracks on the screen anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these tracks and I'm going to mix them back together. I'm going to hold like Shift or Command, and you can select a bunch of tracks. You can actually also actually select the first one and then select the last one. And my head here is in the way. Let's try this again. Select the first one, and then select the last one with the Shift key held down. Now I've selected all four of those tracks, and what you can do is you can mix those tracks back into a single track. Okay, so you can mix and render to a new track where it'll take all of these and put it in a new track underneath. Let's do that. Okay, now I can just listen to this track, and you can hear it sounds like sound, 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 sound. All right. I don't want to do that. I want to actually mix and render to just a single track. I want to erase all those tracks and go like that. Now they're all rendered to the same track up here. So now I've gotten myself back to, let's listen to our composition again. Sound, 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 sound. All right, so there are a couple tricks you can use, basically with adding additional tracks, lining things up, duplicating, pasting, all those operations that are key to kind of doing interesting things here.